Well, hello everyone, welcome back guys. Hope you all are doing well. This is Muhammad Badruddin and today we are going to solve a machine from Hack the Box. The machine name is Soccer and the difficulty level of this machine is easy. So without wasting time, let's go and we start it with Nmap scan. So first thing first, Nmap space hyphen S capital V for version enumeration, space hyphen S capital C for default scripts, space hyphen A for the aggressive scan, space hyphen capital T for timing template, and I'm going to choose 4. It is from 1 to 5 and the target IP is going to be 10.10.11194 and I want to save the scan results in a file named as default-ag.nmap. To save the time, I already ran the scan, so I'm going to show you the scan results cat default ag aggressive.nmap. You can name this file as you want. So there are 3 ports open, I think. The first one is port number 22 for SSH, port number 80 for HTTP, and port number 9091. This is XML tech, XML mail. So not much well known about this port, but we will see that in a minute. So SSH service running is OpenSSH 8.2p1, port number 80. There is a service running NGINX 1.18.0, and this one I already told you. Fine. XML tech, XML mail. So we will see that in a minute, but if you go to the browser and try to access port number 80, it will automatically redirect you to soccer.htb. So if you did not create the record in etc host file of soccer.htb, you have to create it, otherwise you won't be able to access this web application or website. So I created the record so that I can access this by name soccer.htb. Here I'm going to see the page source first, and once we see the page source, there are not much interesting things here, but one thing you can note that there is a tag HTML. Inside it you will find that there is admin. Okay, so there could be a user named as administrator or admin. We will see that in a minute. The rest of the things are pretty okay, not much. Fine. Second thing, I also tried to get the subdomain. I did the subdomain enumeration, but unfortunately did not get any subdomain. So next thing, I can go for the GoBuster for the directory enumeration. So GoBuster space dir for directory enumeration, space hyphen w for the word list. I'm using user share word list. Dirbuster. Inside Dirbuster, I'm going to use directory list lowercase 2.3 medium and space hyphen u to specify the URL, which is http://soccer soccer.htb, and number of threads I'm going to use, let's say 100. Hit enter and hope for the best. If we see here, there is only one link, which is home, and it's redirect you to the soccer.htb. Nothing much, right? But once we go to the Weblyzer, you can see here front awesome jQuery web server running is NGINX. It's using PHP. It builds on PHP. This is interesting, but the PHP version is not specified here. We will see that in the enumeration part. So these little information is always important for you. And here, as you can see, we find one directory which is /tiny. So let's see what's inside this. TINY, and it's running one tiny file manager. Okay, what is this tiny file manager? And let's try to see if there is version specified or not. Here in the web page we did not get any version, but let's see here, tiny file manager, there is nothing. I'm again going to the page source to see if we find something interesting. Scroll down, and here it is. So if I maximize this, you can see data version is 2.4.3. okay, so this is the version for the tiny file manager, and this is the source. Here you can find the source of tiny file manager. Fine, so now we have the version information and what's running on it. So port number 22, port number 80, port number 9091, I think, and we find one directory tiny, and visiting it, it's running tiny file manager, and its version is 2.4.3. now the next step is going to search about this application, and we will see whether there is some well-known exploit. But first thing, I will try to find out if there are some default credentials. So let's see, tiny file manager default credentials. okay, so this is the default credential, admin at 123, and there is another user and its password is 12345. I'm going to try this one, admin. So let's try admin at 123, and if it works, this is going to be very bad, because putting the default credentials, it's always open a very insecure door for the attackers. So as you can see, we are logged in. okay, so now let's try to find out if there is any exploit. Tiny file manager exploit. So here you can see there is tiny file manager 2.4.3 exploit, and that is a path traversal vulnerability in the file upload functionality in the tinymanager.php. okay, so let's try this. Remote code execution. Let's try this one. okay, there are CVE. We can see the CVEs. Tiny file manager authenticated RCE. We will see that. First of all, let's go here, and it gives me this is the exploit CVE 2021. okay, come back here. So it's saying default credentials are these. You can put a reverse shell, and then you can get the reverse shell connection. okay, there is exploit.sh. we can execute this exploit.sh, same like this one. Exploit.sh is here. okay, so let's see. First of all, I'm going to create a reverse shell payload. We can take it from pentest monkey, and also we can take it from rev shells. Pretty good resource to generate the reverse shell payloads. So my IP is going to be 10.10.14.174, let's say 7575, and operating system is Linux, and because it's built on PHP, so I'm going to generate the PHP reverse shell, PHP pentest monkey, and here we have everything. So we just need to copy this one, Control C, come back here, new page, paste that and save it. Let's say rev.php, hit enter, come back here. okay, now go inside the tiny, let's see what's inside. There is uploads, so maybe everything you upload, it comes here. And if you see here, right hand side on the top, we will find here the upload option. So let's try to upload it, but before uploading that, I'm going to close this, and opening a new tab here, and let's listen on port number 7575. Go back to the browser and let's drop here the reverse shell file, soccer ref.php. It's uploaded. Go back and try to open this file. It's saying download or open. Let's try to open it on the browser, and as we open it, you can see it keep loading. That means we get a shell here, right? So we get a shell here as www data. So python 3 space -c import pty:/pty dot spawn, and let's execute bin bash, close it, hit enter, and now you can see we get here the prompt, a good prompt. Also, if we try to execute the clear command, it won't execute the clear command, and it's saying term environment variable not set. So let's set this variable by export space term is equal to xterm, and hit enter. Now we can execute the clear command. Yeah, we can do this. So ls space -la, this is the we are inside the main directory, and here we have everything. Fine, let's see how many users are there those can run bin bash. So I can do this by grep, and let's search /bin/bash within the etc passwd file. So hit enter, and there are two users, root user and player user. So we are now www data, so we need to escalate our privileges from www data to player user. We need to find out a way, and then we will go up to root, right? So let's see some commands, basic enumeration command to see like how many ports are open. So as you can see here, net state space -l, you can execute this also, and you can also execute net state space -tlpn. So there are a bunch of port open. 3306, that means MySQL database, because this port is default for MySQL database. That means MySQL database is running. Port number 3000 is also listening, but on localhost. That means this application only hosted on the local host. So let's try to see if there is something or not. So localhost :3000. What is it? Yeah, there is application. Okay, wonderful. So what we need to do right now, here we don't have the GUI session, so we cannot see and open it in the browser. So we need to port forward to our attacker machine, and for that what I'm going to do here is, let's clear this one. cd/opt/chisel. I'm going to use chisel for port forwarding, and here I'm going to say python 3 space -m http.server on port number 80. And now here I'm going to cd/dev/shm, hit enter. Now we are inside it. ls space -la, there is nothing. Now we need to get the chisel here. So 10.10.14.174, this is my IP, and I am hosting HTTP server on port 80, so I can get the chisel file here. Second thing, until it's finished, I'm going to start the chisel server. So how we can start it? cd/opt/chisel all, and here chisel server, let's say on port 9595 space -p actually, and it is going to reverse. Okay, hit enter. Now the chisel server is running and it's listening on port 9595. Come back here. The chisel here is finished. Let's put the execution permission on the chisel. Okay, clear it, and now I'm going to execute chisel client here. So chisel client, and client is going to connect with the server, and the server is running on attacker IP, attacker server. So this is my attacker IP and it's listening on 9595. So I have to connect with this port, and then I need to connect this one with port 3000. Okay, hit enter. Hope for the best, and this is connected. Wonderful. Here if we come, we can see it's listening on 3000, port forwarded from 3000 to 3000, and now it's listening. We don't need this now. And if we go to the browser here, and if we try here instead of this, let's say http://127.0.0.1:3000. Hit enter. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is another application, and before you can see here we have only home option, but now we have match, login, sign up. Fine. Okay, this is the thing. We don't have the credentials, but we can try the same credential as Tiny File Manager because of password reuse. So let's see if that password is valid for this one also or not. So admin at 123, hit enter. It's asking for the email, not for the username. So there is option to sign up. We can sign it up. Let's try to sign in. Let's say cybersec@radar.xor, and the username is going to be, let's say, cybersec, and the password is radar. Hit enter. Okay, so user is already registered. Now we need to put the email, and the password is radar. Hit enter, and we have what? There is your ticket ID. What is there is something to write. Let's say hello, but how we can send this? Ticket does not exist. You just need to put your message or whatever string and just hit enter. Okay, but nothing much. So I'm going to see the page source again. Let's see if there is something interesting. Matches, check. This option was not available before login. I think ticket is check. So if we click on tickets, it go to the check endpoint. Ticket ID is this. Okay. And where is the input field? There is some JavaScript. This JavaScript is also interesting. Why? Because it's creating a variable named as WS. This WS stands for WebSocket, and it is connected. Okay, here it's showing us one more new subdomain, sock-player.soccer.htp, and it's connected with 9091. So this port we also get in the nmap scan, but we didn't have idea what this port is doing, how it is integrated, and how it is working in that target. But now here we can see this application, this one which is hosted locally, this application is actually connected with the WebSocket server, and this WebSocket server have one subdomain. Okay, load function. This is button document dot get element by ID. That means here whatever you are entering, it seems like ID. No, this one is ID. So this is connected with this WebSocket server, connected to the server. Okay, key 1 function send text. So this is the function for sending the text what you are entering here. So whatever text you are sending, it is going with id is equal to message input value what you input there. Okay, that's good. What we can try, we need to talk to this WebSocket server. Here we can search what is WebSocket server. A WebSocket server is nothing more than an application listening on any port of a TCP server that follows a specific protocol. The task of creating a custom server tends to scare people. However, it can be straightforward to implement a simple WebSocket server on your platform of choice. Okay, so as simple as possible, we can create a WebSocket client to talk to this. So WebSocket exploit, if there is any, because this application is actually talking with this feature check is talking with the WebSocket server. So WebSocket exploits. Let's try injection exploits. So there is one WebSocket pentest. Okay, this is WebSocket connect with the Python script. So we will write this Python script. This is for blind SQL injection. Okay, and there is possibility for the blind SQL injection. Why? Because here we can put the text and we have here the ID. Okay, so when it is retrieving, also we see here that MySQL server is running, right? We saw here before MySQL server is running. So whatever the username or user account we are creating during the registration or sign up process, that is going to be stored somewhere, or maybe in the MySQL server most probably. And once the account is created, it is going to create one ID for the user, which is going to be the ticket ID. And this ticket ID also going to be saved in the MySQL server, right? So we can try SQL injection, and there is the thing. Okay, like this. So this is the code Python script to talk to the WebSocket server like this. And then there is a middleware server which is hosted on the local machine. No problem in that. And you can send the payload. And once you can talk with the backend WebSocket server, you can execute SQL map by identifying your middleware server. So this is your middleware server. You can see it is listening on port number, listening for any connection, internal or external, on port number 8081, right? Okay, so we will follow this part. Let's see, copy this script, come back here. I'm going to open here one more page. Everything seems okay. Data ID, let's see. So target IP for WebSocket, what we will put here, where is it? This one on 9091. Make sure you created this record in etc host file. I already created that record, so nothing to be worried, but you have to create this record, or you can put the IP address of the target IP. I'm not sure whether with the IP address it will work or not, because I did not try that up to now. So we get the subdomain, we make the record in etc host file. So the parameter is ID, so we don't need to change it here, and rest of the things are okay. We are going to use 8081. We are not going to change this port. If you want, if there is any application already running on your machine, you can change this port. And we have the parameter ID, so also we are not going to change this here. Save it, and let's save it as websocket underscore client.py, or you can name it as you want. Back to the terminal here, to our local machine. Okay, come back here, cd slash desktop soccer, clear it, ls space -la, and we have here client. Fine, let's open one more terminal here. So this terminal, on the first terminal, I'm going to execute my WebSocket client, ws underscore client.py. It's running and listening on this port. Now we can try SQL map. So SQL map space -u for the URL, and the URL is going to be http:// same localhost colon 8081, id is equal to, and the id is equal to this. Where is it? This one. Okay, let's refresh it. So the user which you create is going to be deleted after a specific amount of time, so make sure you check whether your ticket is valid or not. And we can also try without ticket if we are going to check the SQL injection. But valid things work fine most of the time. So this is our ticket ID. Back here, put here our ticket ID, then space -- dbms is equal to mysql -- current db space -- batch, and let's try -- because the user is deleted after a specific amount of time, so we don't have much time. That's why we need to put here a number of threads. So let's say 5 and hit enter. Okay, because I already ran this, so I get it very quickly. Soccer DB is the current database here. Okay, once you do it, maybe it will take 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It's up to your network connection and also number of threads and the CPU power. Okay, let's see if the current database is soccer DB here, as you can see. Now let's try what clear we know the database name, which is going to be soccer underscore DB. Now let's enumerate the tables. Okay, hyphen tables. So the table name is accounts within the soccer DB. Okay, now we know the table name. Let's now find out the columns. So to see the columns, you can put here space -T, and the table name is accounts. Now I want to see columns columns. How many columns are there and what are the names of the columns. So here you can see now, because before I just dumped the table, I did not see the columns. What are the columns there? Now in this new query, I'm trying to enumerate the columns. So it is sending the payload. SQL map is sending the payload through this WS client WebSocket client, and it is talking with the WebSocket server. Okay, so there is one column named as email, another column named as ID, third column named as password, fourth column named as username. So these are the columns there. Let it finish, and then we will dump everything. So it is just to show you, and yeah, that's finished. Now I don't need email and ID, I just need username and password. So what I'm going to say here, number of columns, I want username and password, and I want to dump. Okay, so here you can see we have the username and passwords. It is very quickly right now because I already dump it, so it is feeded in the cache of the SQL map. But once you do, it may take 3 to 4 minutes. So the player is the username and this is the password. So if we come back here, now we don't need that. So Control C, we lost the shell. Quickly going to player at soccer.htb, and this is your password. Where is it? Oh, come on, here. Copy, come back here, hope for the best, hit enter, and we have the shell. So coming back here to our username is going to be admin /admin at 123. This was the mainly there is player is the username and the password is this, right? Okay, here we have the shell, clear it, and ls space -la. So user.text is here, cat user.text, and this is the user flag, first flag. Okay, the second thing, let's try to escalate our privileges now from player user to root user, the final user. So sudo -l, it is asking the password again. This is the password. Control C, come here, Control Shift V, hit enter. So user player may not run sudo on localhost. Fine. What's next? Let's see, uname space -a. It's running Linux. Okay, Ubuntu. Let's try to find out if there is any SUID bit binary exist. So for this I'm going to say find /space -permission space -u equal to s 2 greater than /dev /null. Hit enter. So that seems interesting, not the default, because in any machine, in any operating system, there are Linux operating system, there are some by default binaries there which comes with SUID bit set, but this one is not default. Okay, so let's try to see the permission here, ls space -la, and paste that. So there is SUID bit set. Fine. Okay, so DOAS, what is DOAS? Some kind of program, or what is it? What is DOAS? What is DOAS in Linux? So DOAS, dedicated OpenBSD application sub executor, is a program to execute commands on another user. Seems like same like sudo, because we use sudo to execute commands as another user, like root user. If I am a non-privileged user and I want to execute a command on as root user, so we can use sudo. We can give you the privilege to execute a specific application or execute a specific command as root, with the sudo. So the system administrator can configure it to give specific user privileges to execute specific commands, same like sudo. It is free and open source under the ISC license and available in Unix and Unix like operating systems. Wonderful. Okay, let's try DOAS. What command we executed before? This is user local DOAS. I want to copy this and put it here. Okay, come back here, paste it. Let's see. So usage is like this: space -u, and the username you need to specify as which user you want to execute the command. So it is going to be something like this. So DOAS space -u, let's say as root, and then you need to specify the command and the arguments args like this. So let's see if there is any exploit or vulnerability. So DOAS privilege escalation. DOAS privilege escalation. So there are investigation steps, like you need to find out where is the DOAS configuration file. If the configuration, once you find the configuration file, you need to see what is inside the configuration file, because in the configuration file you will find what user can execute as what user, as which user, right? And then you can execute that command what the administrator specify within the doas.conf. So let's see. I'm going to execute this one first. Here, paste that. So this is the path for the DOAS configuration file. I'm going to copy this and put it here. Okay, now let's see what is configured inside this file. Permit, and permit what? No password, player user as root, execute command. Which command? User bin d state. Okay, so the player user can execute d state command as root user with no password. So to execute d state command, player user does not need to pass the password to execute this command as root, right? Okay, I also want to copy this one, copy, come back here, paste that. Let's see what's inside this. Cat. Oh, okay, this is also the Python 3 program t state, and it's already imported OS module. There are plugins. Okay, there are plugins: swap, IO, proc, net, memory, load. I want to see what this d state is doing. So I'm going to d state. Let's see what this program is doing. Okay, so it is actually like system monitoring tool. So it is you can see the CPU usage, memory usage, disk usage, network usage. Here you can see reading, writing, bytes sending and receiving. Okay, the system monitoring tool, or you can say system health monitoring tool. And what you see in the d state file here, come on, there are plugins, right? All these plugins like time, epoch time, system, CPU, disknet. So all these plugins are responsible once you execute the D state, all those plugins are executed and giving its values here in the chart, right? Something like this. So D state space hyphen H, plugin name. So if we do the list, it is going to show us all available plugins within the D state. And there is one more option here, plugin name. So hyphen and plugin name. This is if you created an external plugin by name, you can see that plugin by name here. So I'm going to execute list here, hyphen list. So these all are plugins. These all are plugins, and these plugins exist here. These are the internal plugins. These are the plugins. Okay. Fine. So let's try to find out D state exploit, D state prevex exploit. Let's see. Okay, it is setting the SUID bit in the bash. So basically it is creating a plugin. It is creating a plugin, and this is the plugin file because it is in the Python. So it is writing this plugin, this as a plugin in the Python, and then it is going to execute this plugin. And once this plugin is executed, the SUID bit is set on the bin bash, and then you can execute bash space hyphen p. Fine. So let's try this. First of all, we need to go to find out the D state name. So clear that, paste it here, hit enter. Okay, so these three are the directories available for the D state. So paste it here. This is the document, we don't need it. This is the shared for internal plugins, local share D state. Let's go to local share D state, cd space going there. Okay, now the second step here is to create a plugin. So to create a plugin, you can create a reverse shell payload here within the Python file and named it as dstate_exploit.py or dstate_anything.py. But this name after underscore, after dstate_, whatever you put here, this is going to be the plugin name. Okay, so make sure this one. Okay, user local share D state, we are already in. Now let's create this file. So I'm going to copy this, come back here, and let's see, nano D state _ let's say cybersec.py and paste that here. User bin bash. Okay, Control O, enter, Control X, and the next step is going to list, and you need to see whether your plugin is there or not. Copy, you already created that. Paste it dstate -- list grep. If we just execute this command, it is going to show us the internal plugins, but if we want to see whether our plugin is there or not, so cybersec like this. So as you can see, our plugin is there. Now we just need to execute this plugin. Here it's running with the sudo, but in the target we don't have sudo. We need to execute with the DOS. So to execute it with the DOS, let's see, like this. So user local bin DOS, this is the full path. Paste that, space -u for the user as root. Now the command is going to be like this: user bin d state. This is the path, right? User bin dstate space hyphen hyphen the plugin name cybersec. Okay, hit enter. Cybersec does not recognized. Why? Let's see. Maybe the plugin is deleted. Yeah, the plugin is deleted. So you need to be very quick. Okay, so let's create the plugin again. Nano dstate underscore cybersec.py. Hit enter. Back here. Copy. Come here. Paste it. Hit enter. Sorry, Control O, enter X. Grep cybersec exist. Now just execute. Come on, this one. ls space hyphen la slash bin slash bash. And as you can see, the SUID bit is set here in the bin bash. So slash bin slash bash and with space hyphen p. Let's say clear is working. Yeah, now ID. Okay, player root. Who am I? Root. So as you can see, EUID is root set to root. So we are now having the root privileges. You can also put the reverse shell payload inside the plugin file, right? So cd slash root, go to the root, ls space hyphen la. This is the root home directory, and here we have root.txt. So let's cat root.txt, and this is our final flag. So that's it for this video. Hope you like the content. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. If you have any query, please put your query in the comment section. I will try to respond as soon as possible. For this video, that's it. See you in the next video. Bye.